So this was around order promising. We asked people what are they most interested in improving, and you can see obviously sourcing optimization and inventory accuracy came out on top. And you could say, well, that's been the promise of the OMS for the last 20 years is inventory accuracy and availability. So are they not delivering on that promise anymore? And I would say this goes back to what we've been talking about, Dave, is moving that purchase data up into the shopping funnel on the product list page, on the product detail page. These legacy systems were not designed for that scalability to make that call, the amount of that call and have that call be performant right down at, sub 60 milliseconds so that those pages overall customer shopping experience doesn't get degraded. So, I think, and we're even being asked by customers now to influence, how do they influence the search results based on inventory and fulfillment data, let alone just, showing it on a product listing page. So, that's going to continue to drive the need for highly scalable inventory and highly accurate inventory. So I think the other interesting thing on this one is there's a real profit goal that retailers have an opportunity with here on the promising side, which is if you have a better view of real-time inventory, you can make a more profitable promise. So, we've been talking about order splits as an example, and splits are a necessary evil of, doing omni-channel fulfillment. However, if you've got better access to see downstream where that inventory is, you might make a better promise up front that avoids that split, that slows down that promise to a node that is going to be able to fulfill that order completely, but later perhaps. So I think, that's another interesting thing that retailers should start to explore is how do they use the inventory to better inform the promise to make it a more profitable promise, and as well as obviously do all the great things in terms of driving conversion with store availability, et cetera. So I think that's what's going on there. And I think, people have, it's funny, we've been doing e-commerce for, 20 plus years, but it isn't as profitable as people wanted it to be. And the store visit is more profitable. So the more store data you can show the consumer to drive that footfall into the store, the better. And so this inventory accuracy, if 80% of all purchases are influenced by digital, you better have a good inventory picture of what's sitting on the shelf at your store. So I think that's my perspective on what's going on there. Dave, how about you?
Wasn't life simple when we had one DC that fulfilled all our orders? Yeah, so for us, you always start out as one DC fulfilling all your orders, and life is very simple. And then the next phase is really you want to expose your store level inventory, and I think probably all of us retailers, the way we dealt with that, that was real-time inventory barely existed 10 years ago when these concepts first came out, 5-10 years ago, and we deal with safety stock. So you jack up your safety stocks so you don't disappoint your customers. But that's like right. A CEO's worst nightmare is jacking up your safety stock. That's basically saying I can't sell all this stuff. It's like taking the stuff off the floor and putting it in the back room. So right. Really for me, what this optimization is all about, or really the promising is all about, it's really the balance of the safety stock versus what's available to sell. And you pull one, the other one goes the other way. You turn this one, the other one goes the other way. So how do you get better balance, and how do you get more stuff available? So if you asked me 5 years ago, our inventory was within an hour. So if you sold something in a store, within an hour that was updated on the website and the caches were cleared. And then a couple Halloweens ago, we got it down to 15 minutes. We all patted each other on the back, and 15 minutes is no longer good anymore. When I have 300 customers in each store during my peak Halloween days, 15 minutes could really mean a lot of costumes getting sold out. So then we got down to 5 minutes, and we pat each other on the back again. And now we're really trying to get more down to real-time API calls. So I would say the faster you get that inventory updates, that's where you could start lowering down your safety stock, and you could really start increasing your sales. When you lower that safety stock, your sales definitely kind of go up. And then, for us, there was one more kind of interesting piece, and that's one thing that we're working on now is we're a very seasonal business. I'm sure a lot of retailers are seasonal, and when the seasons when we're not in season, so what do we just cross out Valentine's Day? We pack all that stuff and we put it in the back room, and all that pack away is not for sale. So it's just sitting there. It's getting old. It's getting stagnant inventory. So really what we're trying to do, the next evolution, now that we're almost at full real-time inventory, our next evolution is how do we make that pack away stock available? How do we make that top stock available that's actually not available to the initial picker when they get there? And for us, we're almost looking at our stores like mini DCs, and we're going to start tracking the locations of all this inventory in the DC to make it much easier for the pickers to find stuff. And then once we can actually have pickers be able to find it, then we could actually expose it and start selling it online. Because believe it or not, people want to buy costumes all year long. It's not just a Halloween thing, but unfortunately, because it's all packed away, we can't really expose that inventory. So that's something that we're working on next.